Well, hello everyone and g'day Magpie. How are we all
What's
doing?
going on?
Welcome to episode 10 of Beard and the Bird. We've had all right Mondays, but you know, I've had a pretty good Monday, but it's just feeling a bit done, as most Mondays do. And Magpie is done like a dinner. Put a fork in him.
Yep.
He's done.
Put me out.
But hey, we're still here. Passion project. Always turn up for it.
Exactly.
Recording a little bit later than we usually do. This is literally as late as we can before the podcast is going to go out. Our podcast will probably go live in about 12 hours. That's how fucking quick we go in between this. But yeah, I'll have to edit like fuck in the morning. But yeah, so today we're going to be doing our usual 20 minutes as a part of our new format. We're going to do our usual 20 minutes up start where we talk about the sport, talk about some games, talk about our usual Beard and the Bird stuff. And then our topic of the week will be the Elder Scrolls series. So it'll be in the title. You already know what's coming. But yeah, we're going to talk about the entire series. Me and Magpie both big fans of it. There's obviously some games we have played, some games we mightn't have played, some things we do know, some things we don't know. Like I said, we're going to talk about as much as we can, and how we have the wiki up and stuff like that. Have discussed about our moments, our favorite moments, our worst moments, things that are wrong, things we want for the future game, like number 6. Yeah, should be good times. Oh, excuse me. Drinking a lot of fizzy drinks makes me hiccupy inside. Plus, I ate a fuck ton of food. Mrs. made Borek and like baked salmon couscous or something. It was pretty ridiculous. Yep. And then she made this Saint Sebastian's cheesecake, and we've just eaten that too. We finished that off today, and I'm feeling really fat and bloaty.
Lucky
was filling me up. Yeah, well, she had the day off. Lucky duck. He wasn't feeling the best this morning. Not that she was sick. She just had like really bad neck, and it made her not sleep so good.
Yeah.
How you been, Russ?
Oh, yeah. It's Monday, bro.
Enthusiasm's at a high here at Beard and the Bird podcast. I'm assuming once we start talking about everything, enthusiasm will start to pick up. We've just eaten dinner and sat down finally, and it's sort of like...
Yeah, exactly.
Usually we get on just after work, so we're still a little bit peaked up, but now we're coming after big feeds and sit downs, and it's sort of like, lot to talk about, especially since Australia won the fucking Ashes series 4-0. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to put a whole podcast to the whole wrap up, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe we can do one later in the week. It'll be a second episode. It'll be a bit shorter. But for the meantime, we'll do a quick wrap up here. We finished. We won in 3 days. Shouldn't have, but we did. It's again, England's batting order collapsed horribly.
10 for 56.
They looked good. There was a stage there I thought, fuck, if they keep batting like this, we're going to lose this.
Yep.
And then we got the wickets just ever so steadily just kept falling. And then all of a sudden they just went and just fizzled out for fuck all.
Green come on. Last over before the dinner break. First ball, bowled Rory Burns. I was like, yep, okay, this is going to start it. Come back. I'll tell you what, Crawley did look good. He looked good, but then...
Burns
looked good as well. I think like Green just found them out. Those top 3, he found all 3 of them out, and then the quartet just come to life then, I reckon.
Yeah, so for me, as much as it came down to Cummins and Boland just ripping through them at the end there and really securing the game very nicely, especially Cummins making it. Did Cummins make it 4th? No, Stark made it 4th. I thought Green got through them, and there was Stokes and Root. And the scenario was still like 150 or something like that from them to win. Like, not that much. And I thought, fuck, these cunts are born and bred into this fucking winning the game series. Like, this is their final chance to like really do it. And they had been batting well enough to be able to do it. Then Stark was really trying to make it swing, and he was getting some swing, but not enough. And then what he ended up doing was smart, super smart. I didn't realize that sometimes he can be that smart of a bowler. I don't know if it was him or Cummins came up with the plan. It just sort of, he really put it up there to make Stokes play, and he actually went for a few runs. So and the short ball was literally from nowhere. He didn't even look like really bowling at that short or at him. He just went up there. It was like 140 odd. And just,
it didn't even look like it was going to pitch that short. I just think
it didn't. And it just ran.
Due to his height, he just pounded it
really high on the bat, and fucking he got caught out. And it was like, you could see he's pumped. He was that pumped. So it was like, that wasn't just winning the game. That was that pump that he planned that. Yeah. You don't get that pumped if it's just a random wicket. You get happy, but not. He was that pumped. It was like they planned that. They did that on purpose, and that's why bowling that come in not long after. Like, I think Stark was literally just brought on to take out Stokes.
Yeah,
got him, and that's it. On to the next one.
That was the danger wicket. That was the danger wicket, because we knew from last series over in England, Stokes can sit there and he can just bat. He can just plot away, and he can bring it to, come to the fourth day. Maybe, I don't think it would have went 5 days, but coming halfway through the fourth day, and he would have just went, nah, that's it. I've got 50 runs to make them going,
Yeah.
And
easily winnable. And they got him out, and that worked really, really well. And I was pretty proud of the whole team. The only person I'd say didn't do much throughout the entire series would have been Nathan Lyon. If you had to give like the series wrap up points sort of thing, which we can go on maybe in another episode, maybe we will do one during the week. We'll soon find out. It would just be that Lyon just, I don't know if the fast bowlers just did too good for him not to really bother, but even when we kind of needed him to, he didn't really do enough. He sort of just tied down an end, which is okay, but like, it's just not, I mean, we won so convincingly sort of like, well, you don't change a winning formula, but he didn't do enough for me, in my personal opinion. He should still be a strike bowler, and he just wasn't.
Exactly.
I mean, they didn't use their spinners very well either, I didn't think.
Well, we didn't use Lyon at all this test match. He did not bowl a ball.
So I mean, like, it's weird that we even had him in the side, but it's not because it should have been pace bowlers. We had plenty of pace bowlers. It's just, at no point did you think, oh, we should bring on Lyon. It's sort of like, because he wasn't doing enough. I think if you had a Swepson or someone who's just a bit more lethal at times, I think Nathan Lyon's more of a tie down and get a wicket, while someone needs to be able to come in and just break the spell really easily, and then be able to tie it down.
Swepper could put a couple outside and then just bring one and fire it back straight in.
Something, I don't know, something a bit different. But I mean, the team won, so who fucking cares?
Yeah,
honestly.
I got to say, mad props to Pat Cummins as well. If anyone realised what he did for Usman Khawaja.
Yeah.
Uzi was part of the squad, come up for the initial celebrations. They popped the champagne. It was against his religion, so he ran off. Pat Cummins said, nope, stop, put that away. We got to do this first. Brought Uzi back up. And then, righto, we got the photo. We got the team photo. All the boys are here. Righto, let's go celebrate now. Uzi, you go, go do your thing. We'll celebrate with the alcohol. No,
they celebrated the alcohol back inside. They didn't do it out in the field and stuff. And when they did, they all kept it to their beers. Yeah,
I'm talking about the champagne, showering the champagne and that. Like, as soon as that happened, Uzi ran off. And as soon as they saw Uzi ran off, even like if you saw Steve Smith's arm push Uzi out from behind Pat Cummins, pushed him away. So he legged it. And then they were like, oh shit, hang on, come back in. Celebrate with the boys and then go ahead.
Paddy Cummins is a good fucking captain, and it was a good combination with him and Smith. Smith had some fucking brilliant. His mind was in there as well, and it's a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but a lot to do with why we played so good this series and we played so bad against India. Isn't always because of the players you had. Sometimes it can be the captain.
Yeah,
as much as I liked Tim Payne, I think we found out today this series that Tim Payne's captaincy was just not right, not what the team needed, and Smith had it, but Pat Cummins obviously needed to be the poster boy this time. And I think the fact that he's a bowler maybe made some of the field influences a bit different.
Yeah.
They did a bit more attacking for the bowlers. They never let off the throttle, which was good. They
you
were
never
never
really
scared
saw
to.
a defensive field.
We hit runs too, which helps.
Yeah, but you never really saw them. All right, we're going to put 5 blokes out on the boundary. Everyone else is, at your spot. We're going to put 2 in the cordon, one down leg. Never saw that. It was always, we're getting these wickets. Let's get in, boys. Let's go.
Yeah,
which was good.
I didn't realize Stark got 3 in the first innings.
Yeah, he got 3 for in the first innings.
Cool, awesome.
Paddy got the 4 for in the first innings.
Travis Head got man of the series.
So he should.
He played pretty good, eh?
Honestly, if it wasn't for his 101, it would have been a lot tighter, I reckon.
He just played differently to everyone else, eh? He just came out just aggressively. It was so weird.
That number 5 spot, if you have a look at it, that number 5 spot is just the anchor, like the rock.
Yeah.
Always
has been. There's a lot of your really top class batsmen always come from spot 5. Steve Smith batted 5. Marnus Labuschagne sort of come straight to 3. But, Michael Clark was originally a 5. Then he turned out to be one of the best number 4 batsmen ever.
Yep. What was it? Steve and Mark Waugh were 5 and 6, weren't they?
Virat Kohli was elevated. A 5.
Yeah.
I think Joe Root was even a 5 originally too. So a lot of good batsmen started 5. So it's not to say that eventually in the future that Travis Head doesn't move up to 4 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, in the future, I'd actually love to see Marnus Labuschagne open, and Steve Smith moves to 3, and
Travis Head goes to 4.
Yeah, I actually think Smith needs that little bit of position change. I think not down, up the order.
Yeah.
I
think he plays better against the harder ball.
Yeah.
Like you see the way that Steve Smith plays, I reckon. Yeah, he plays better against the harder ball that has that little bit of nip in it.
I don't know. He wasn't particularly his series, but he'll come back, and I think it's not going to happen straight away, but I think Smith needs to go to 3. I think that's just the right call.
Yeah.
But what about Australia rejecting Novak Djokovic's visa for the second time?
It hurts when they have a look in the background and he's lied on his stat deck. So
yeah, I mean, like my missus was pretty happy about all that actually.
No, but it hurts Novak when they have a look at it and they go, "You lied. You said you didn't travel, but how come you were in Serbia here and then 3 days later you were here?"
Yeah,
and that's within the 14 days. Like,
it's just one of those things. It's like he lied on his thing, but like my missus not on the head. Like, how many other countries would have told him to fuck off?
Yeah.
Like Tennis Australia would have loved to really have him here because he's world number 1, but like we don't give a shit.
No.
Fuck off, don't fucking get into the country the wrong way. Like we're happy to have anyone here. Do it the right way.
Do it the right way. Exactly.
And we'll take you every day of the week.
If you found out to do it the wrong way, turn your ass around, get back on that fucking plane and fuck off where you come from. Simple as that.
Exactly right.
Like
on the tennis. Oh, sorry.
For it to drag out as long as it did.
He's just a knob. I've never really liked him anyway. I'm kind of happy he's not there. And Ash Barty won her singles title recently in Adelaide. So she's coming in with good form.
Yeah.
Into the Australian Open, which will be just fucking phenomenal. I hope she wins.
That'll be the one thing that I'm looking forward to in the next month is if she can come through and win that, then yeah, that's perfect. That's her year. Her 18 months has been wrapped up, It's just been amazing. Her 2.5 years, however long it's been since she's started rising, just wrapped it up really well if she's won her home Grand Slam.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be really, really nice. We needed an Australian to win it for once.
Yeah,
fucking awesome. Games. What games have you been playing? Big Horse?
I haven't changed from last week, brother. Apex, Star Wars, and Formula 1. I got a steady flow of games, so I'll keep it to that. I'm happy with playing those 3.
So we've been playing. Well, we're playing Apex, and then we were thinking about playing PUBG because it has come free, but it's still not crossplay between console and PC, which is so shit. So weirdly enough, we sort of hopped on Rebirth for a little bit, and then that stemmed to, hey, there's 6 of us playing. Let's just all hop on Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, and we've just been playing that, and it's been kind of fun as a change of pace. Just we went back and played Rebirth and stuff. We got a couple wins, and we did this and that, and it's fun, but we're having so many connection issues still. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like every second game, you're just disconnecting. You go back to the main back. The whole game crashes. You have to start again. Like it's just the game's in such a piss poor state, but we're still playing it because it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things that like nothing else is kind of like the multiplayer Call of Duty. It doesn't play anywhere the same.
Yeah,
so it is really funny. So you still play it, but you kind of don't want to because it's so broken. You just want them to fix it.
Yep.
One of those things. I mean, I played some Halo multiplayer. That was good fun. Playing the boys, playing some arenas. That was pretty cool. Yep. I'm terrible, but fun. Apart from that, I think I'm holding out on games for a little tinier at the moment. Just sort of playing this and that. I've been playing some Pokemon Showdown actually.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun, that game. So random, but it's so much fun. I just play the randoms. I just play random battles.
Yep.
And you sort of got to get lucky with your Pokemon, but at the same time, it's just all about type matching and just getting like certain hits in and stuff. It's a cool game. And like setting up someone to sweep or
Yeah, true.
Which has also got me keen for Pokemon Arceus to come out. I don't know how the multiplayer that's going to work properly. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but the whole open world scheme's pretty cool. And they like, don't have Pokeballs. You have you have Pokeballs, but you have one type of Pokeball which you make from apricons, which is cool, which is apricorns or whatever they call it, which is a spin-off from Gen 2 when you used to get the apricorns and get that old mate to build them for you.
Yep.
Make your own Pokeballs.
Yep.
I think it's going to be something similar to that. And you sort of don't, you battle people and stuff. And there's like legendary Pokemon that have gone off and you're part of like a team. I think you're called surveyors or something like that. And you do missions for them. And that's the storyline, is their mission. So you don't really have a Pokedex. You sort of get everything written down on paper and you take it back and you make a book and that's your Pokedex.
Shit, right.
Yeah. And like, because people can't have easy access to Pokemon, they'll go, oh, what's this Pokemon look like? And you go catch it, you bring it back and go, there it is. Yeah. Oh, cool. Like shit like that. Like you catch a lot of one Pokemon to get like a study on it. So you get more like,
understand
notes
like
on it and stuff.
Abilities and all that
it's kind
stuff.
Of,
yeah.
We had this thought for a game for a long time ago. We called it, in our head, we called it Pokemon Zero. And it was actually meant to be based on Professor Oak is what we were thinking.
Yep.
But like the creation of the Pokedex, but they sort of done what we were thinking already, which I think is pretty cool. I think it has the ability to be a really fucking cool game, and it's set a long time before the events of Pokemon that we know of.
Yep.
And it's set. They've called it something different, but it's actually the original Sinnoh region.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It should be pretty dope. Like I saw some things like there's like alpha Pokemon where like they're bigger and got like red eyes, and they'll actually attack you if you can't just run away or like not fight them. Like they'll actually do moves at you, and if they hit you and you do enough damage, they'll knock you down and you pass out.
Yeah,
you wake back up in the hospital and you lose a fair few items and stuff like that. So you still have to sort of get the Pokeball out and battle them. You can't just meander around like that's. They've made it hard like that. Like you can't just keep walking to the hard spot. Like if you keep walking there, eventually a Pokemon's just going to kill you and you die. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Go back to the start, you bitch.
I thought that's a pretty cool concept.
Back to the beach.
Yeah. You can watch videos on YouTube about it, but I mean, it's about to come out in like a week's time. So
yeah.
I'm hoping to get that and play that. That would be pretty dope.
Shit, yeah.
Be very dope.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I think I'm just gonna meander around games, some other random games for the time being. And once I get that, I think I might flog that for a while.
Yep.
It'd be weird to get off like multiplayer FPS shooters, but I think it'll be fun to play that for a bit.
That'll be your like little cheeky desire, you know, like that little.
Yeah, I'll have to set it up in my room here somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm going to set it up, but I've got like a separate controller I can play it on and stuff, which would be cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be dope. Any games you're looking forward to at the moment?
Nah, bro.
Apart from Elden Ring in a month's time or whatever.
Yeah, Elden Ring comes out. The new expansion for Star Wars comes out soon, so I'm falling back into my MMO stage. So
which is probably pretty good. You know, sometimes it's hard to find cunts to play with. And so sometimes you just find just one person. It's like you've got the ability to just go play an MMO, an RPG. You know, you go through ebbs and flows of what games you're going to play. Like sometimes you want to play FPS and sometimes you just want to chill out and play RPGs.
Yeah, I'll see. It's not just that. It's like something that's always pulled me in, if you know what I mean. Like it's always drawn my attention as an MMO or an RPG, like the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's always something that's pulled me in, and I think that's why I enjoy the Elder Scrolls so much. Is you just lose track of time.
It's one of those things that like I've lost my little bit of desire for RPGs a little bit. I play them once I start playing them. I fucking love them, but then like I lose interest in them really quickly because like all the boys are playing FPS shooters and I just want to go play with them or something. You know, sort of like, and then I lose track and then I just don't go back to playing it for a while.
Don't realize where you are.
Yeah, or you haven't played it for like a week or two and you're sort of like, I kind of over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those things that happens. That's just where my gaming is at the moment. That's why I think I just got to try push Arceus out. Just when I get it, just play it, say no to everything else. Hey, this is the game I'm playing. Use it, fucking get over it.
Yeah.
Just step my foot down a little bit.
Yep. Understandable.
Yeah. I probably won't. Probably play it for like a week, for a couple of days, and go, oh, Call of Duty, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll get back into that. Oh shit, I had Pokemon sitting there. I don't know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Switch is I can just take it off and play it wherever.
Yeah.
I can just sit down while I watch the TV and just play it there and grind it out anyway. Sometimes you don't want to boot up everything, you sit down because like it's a little gaming center here. Sometimes you just want to chill out, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good way to wrap us into the Elder Scrolls series, which is our main topic of today. I should probably try to put some music in there, but I think I'll lead it in with a bit of Skyrim music and lead it out with a bit of Morrowind music or something like that. We'll keep that to the theme. I think I might do that for every week when we've got a theme. You know, if it's NRL, I'll get like an NRL fucking commentator bring us in or something, you know. We'll figure it out. Yeah. I think the last one they're bringing in with Dragonball Z, finishing Dragonball Z sounded fucking dope. It finished, and I was like, I kind of want that to be our theme song all the time.
I want to go. I honestly wanted to go watch Dragon Ball Z. So
yeah. I've been watching little snippets and stuff, and then like you watch snippets on YouTube, and some of them like are dubbed. And you're like, that's not how it went. I'm sure that's not how it went. I'm sure Vegeta never told Goku to fuck off. Someone's dubbed this.
DBZA, Dragon Ball Z abridged.
I hate it, man. I fucking despise it. I don't like it at all. Like every now and again they'll come up with a good joke, but nah. The only like funny things I found from Dragon Ball Z was like this really shitty cartoon that was made called Dragon's Ball P.
Yeah.
Dragon's Ball P by I think it was like Yoni Games or Coney Games. I don't even think it was called, but yeah, they do like this cartoon and dub it, and then the second one's called Dragon's Ball PP. And that one's just as good, if not better, actually. We used to quote it all the time. It's so fucking funny. Like, instead of it, like, they always fuck up their names. So, like, Kakarot, they go Carrot Cake or something like that. And Vegeta, they always change his name. Instead of, like, just being Vegeta, it's like Virginia or Vendetta or something. Virginia.
Oh,
anything.
Geez.
Yeah.
Well.
I think like so you can't be doing that, Vagina. Yeah, and it's like Super Saiyan. They call it like Super Sand. It just cracks me up, cracks me up. You have to watch it. I'll send you a link after.
Yeah, send me a link. But we're going to talk about Elder Scrolls.
But we're going to talk about Elder Scrolls. As you can see, I've got the map of Skyrim up behind me. I used to have the map of Vardenfell as well, but I don't have that anymore. I don't know where that. Or I may have that here somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. But yeah, so what's your thoughts on the Elder Scrolls series? What would you give the entire series out of 10?
Oh, see, I can only go off based off of pretty much 2 and a bit games. Sorry, 3 and a bit. And the 3 and a bit games that I played, I absolutely love them. I'd have to say probably 8.5, 9 out of 10.
There is don't fuck around.
There is a couple things that could have been better, and
there is.
It's always hindsight.
There's nothing you can do. You can never get it perfect. That's the thing. There's no game's ever going to be perfect. But like some people say, like, oh, Morrowind, which is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Oh, be prepared to read because it's all like text-based speech when they talk between. But fuck, man, at the time, huge. The game was so massive at the time. It was like the biggest map that was out ever at that time. And for a long time, it was still the biggest map. It's huge. And because your character was so small, like that's the thing. They made the map this big and like other maps are bigger, but your character model in that's actually pretty big. Your character model in this is so small. So the game is so large. It's just so big. It takes you forever to go from one end to the other. Like literally for fucking ever to walk from one end to the other. Like Skyrim's pretty big. If you actually get your character and walk from one end to the other, you do it in half to an hour. Like you get there. Morrowind, I have no idea how long it'd take. It'd take you so fucking long to go from the bottom to the top. It'd take you forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd ever get there. I think you'd die. Starvation. Like, and you can see on the map here, like if you look at the Tamriel map, that like Vardenfell is meant to be smaller, but you definitely felt like it was bigger when you played it. In Skyrim. And your fast traveling was so much harder. Like there's no fast traveling in Morrowind.
Yeah.
You had a spell that could go back. You had 2 spells. You had a mark and the other one was like back or something like that. And back took you back there, or return or something it was called. And then you had like divine intervention, which would take you back to the nearest temple.
Yep.
Or altar intervention, which would take you back to the nearest altar or something like that. And that was pretty cool. Like you could use that to travel between towns and stuff. And then you had like a horse system, but it was called stilt striders, which was like these big fucking flea looking things. And you'd ride around the Vardenfell on them.
Big Nixoxes.
Yeah. And then like there's little bits in Skyrim, which would like refer to them, but they're all dead by then. Like Vardenfell, they're still alive, but only just alive. There's only a couple alive. But like in Skyrim, they do mention in there that all the stilt striders died.
Yeah.
Just like all the dragons died.
Yep.
I think in Oblivion, they do mention stilt striders in there as well, but I think they're still alive then. But it's still a precious exotic animal. I think there is a reference there where they had like an exotic one or something. I can't remember exactly. Which is one of the things I do like about Elder Scrolls. They all flow to each other somehow. Yeah. I'm not sure about the MMO, which Magpie knows fuck tons about. I know nothing about the MMO. Elder Scrolls Online. ESO. Electrical Safety Office.
Yeah, you can say that. But see, okay, I'll bring that. So ESO is based a millennium before Skyrim and about 800 years before Morrowind and Oblivion. So it's before the Empire, before the Empire came along. So it was the 3 factions: the Eldermere Dominion, the Daggerfall Covenant, and the Ebonheart Pack. So they were your 3 main factions that would fight. Then they were fighting for the Ruby Throne of the Emperor of Tamriel. So they were fighting for emperorship pretty much to be the most dominant faction. And like you would know the races. So Eldermere Dominion. If you played Skyrim, you should know what the Eldermere Dominion is. That's the High Elves. That's the Altmar, which is the High Elves, the Bosma, which is the Wood Elves, and the Khajiit. That's your Elder.
Khajiit. You just said? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's which is the cat people.
Wow.
Yep. That's your that's the Eldermere Dominion. Then you got the Daggerfall Covenant, which is Breton, Redguard, and Orcs. So it pretty much has Tamriel and breaks it up into 3 areas. And then you got the Ebonheart Pack, which is the Nords, the Dark Elves, and the Argonians. So all the western side of Tamriel.
Yep.
And then the Eldamiri Dominions, the eastern side of Tamriel is the Ebonheart Pack. Southwestern side is the Eldamiri Dominion, and the western side is the Daggerfall Covenant.
Yep.
And they're all fighting for ruling.
Yeah,
or Cyrodiil. So it's a big game to get into.
Where's the Imperials?
Imperials are in Cyrodiil. So you do have a
4th faction.
No. So Imperials can be of any faction. So you can make an Imperial character and choose any of the factions. So that's what was brought out when there was never Imperials to begin with. But then they brought out the Imperial Edition upgrade, or the Imperial Edition, which brought out that race. And it was, you pick an Imperial, you can pick any of the 3 factions to fight for.
Yep.
And the 3 factions are what you use for PvP.
Okay, yep, cool.
So, yeah, it's
well, we might go through the games a little bit here. So Elder Scrolls 1 is Arena, made in 1994. I can't say I played much of that at all. I think it was very text-based as well. I haven't really played it, and I haven't really watched any of it either. I think it was all originally it was written by fellas that loved pen and paper games, so I'm pretty sure it was very text-based, text rolled in the fighting. So
like D&D.
More like the original Might and Magics.
Yep.
Then Daggerfall come out and you had that first person view and you could go around, but it's still very much text-based as well. But when you're fighting, you could actually fight and stuff like that. But I think it was very slow and took a long time. And still, your sword and shields were way better than your magic because Magicka wasn't much of a thing still. It was still, they still made magic really hard to use. And you had to use it sparingly. Then there's like a little bit of Redguard and stuff in there, but I think they're all like single titles for themselves. They weren't really part of the Elder Scrolls series as such. And then Morrowind, which is my personal favorite game, which is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Again, a lot of the chats are text-based, but I mean, you had a much more open world. Characters would talk as you walk past them. You could hear them talk, and sometimes you'd do a response that have a bit of a thing to say about it as well. But you didn't have you didn't like zoom in on the face and have a chat like some of the other games, which is like, but I think Elder Scrolls 3 really set up all RPGs from then on.
Yep.
All open world games was spun off from Elder Scrolls 3. Elder Scrolls 3 was released in 2002.
2002.
So that you got to think at that stage there, PlayStation 1, I think, was the only thing on the market. PlayStation 1, I don't even think Xbox was out yet. I think that was 03 maybe, 04. So, you know, I mean, it was only on PC. It was still that big of a game that like consoles just couldn't even fathom that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's why I think that's such a big stepping stone, and not just Morrowind, not just the Elder Scrolls series, but all of the games. Morrowind pretty much set up the Fallout series as well. That made Fallout 3 a thing as well, where Fallout 1 and 2 used to be just turn-based, turn-based Diablo views. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion brought it onto the next-gen consoles of Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and on computer. 2006, there wasn't too many years in between that. And that game just made it much easier to move around. Your swords and shields had like a bit more of a function. You had like shield bash and like proper block. Or Morrowind, it was just like a randomized thing that you might block sometimes.
You might, yep.
And your magic, you could actually use magic. You could set different things in each hand. While in like the other games, magic took up both your hands. You know, you had to do the.
Yeah, you were an actual mage where you had to do. Yeah.
But this one here, you could fire from one hand and still bash some other cunt with the other hand. Like, yeah. If you listen to this on Spotify, I literally just mimicked that with my hands, guys. And that really set up a lot of other games too. But I mean, like that was that probably more set up Fallout 3 and stuff like that as well. They did a really good job there. They had voice actors for every character. It wasn't just all text-based responses. Your character still didn't talk, nor is it in Skyrim either. But you could talk, and they had facial expressions, and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, but kind of broken for the most part too. And a little bland, but we'll get on to that later. And then Skyrim come out. And by the way,
blew everyone's mind.
Morrowind, Game of the Year. Oblivion, Game of the Year. Skyrim, Game of the Year.
From multiple outlets as well, not just from like the one, not like IGN, it was from multiple.
Skyrim was definite Game of the Year on every single fucking thing. Like, I think number 3, when number 3 come out, it was still like, it was groundbreaking and won a lot of awards, but like Skyrim was just so next level. It looks immaculate. Like, it looked, even back then, it looked fucking awesome. Played really nicely. Obviously, still had Bethesda issues like that. Saves would break, load times, things just going random into fucking space and stuff, all sort of things that are broken with it. But it was so good. And like the story, some people find the storyline a bit bland. I think the storyline's pretty cool. I actually did like that. You're like a Dragonborn, you could shout. Like, it gave a whole new element as well, that you could use like this extra power. You fought fucking dragons. And then when they brought the expansion out, you could ride the cunts. That was huge.
Yep.
I remember just like when it happened and I got on the dragon and riding around, I'm like, this is awesome. Shooting these big fucking ice spears from it. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Your dragon starts to fly away. You use fucking dragon ren to pull him back down to the ground and be like, no, I'm jumping on you, cunt, and we're fucking off. Like, fucking don't fly away without me.
And like, it's that good of a game. They've remade it on every fucking console. It's on Switch. It's on it would come out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and then they brought it on to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Oh no, they didn't bring it on the PlayStation 5. It was on Switch. Hang on. Sorry, I take that back.
It started on the 360 and
it's on 360, PS3. Then they brought it on to Xbox One, PS4, and then they brought it on to Xbox Series X, PC the entire time. They brought it on Switch. They've done an Alexa version of it where it's just like you talk to it and it's just like a D&D game.
They've done a VR version of it.
They've done literally everything with it because it is that good.
Yeah.
And malleable. You can do shit with it too. You can add customs to it very easily. And then they brought out like the Creation Club, so you didn't have to break the game to make it happen. You could set it in order. They've just done such a good job with the Elder Scrolls series, especially Skyrim. This is why it's taken so long for the next game to come out, is because this game was just so well done that you could stick with it for a while.
There's still people going back to Skyrim.
I've gone back and played it.
I've gone back and played it. Like, it's that type of game where you go, oh, I might go play some Skyrim again. You go back, you get sucked in. Like, no matter how far on it is from release date. And
some people have a problem. This is with a lot of Bethesda games, and it's a gripe I actually have with a lot of the fans. Some people don't like. Everyone loves Skyrim. That's the weird thing. Even like your proper diehard fans still think Skyrim's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But the big one with Skyrim is it plays well. Everything's functional. It's not slow. Everything, you get hit, you stagger a bit, and then you fucking hit. Like, it has such awesome gameplay mechanics. Yet if you're talking like their sister series, which is the Fallout series, see, I understand Fallout 3 has a great storyline. I understand everyone loves New Vegas. Now, for someone who didn't play New Vegas originally, to come back to it, I go, the story's fun, plays like rubbish. Because they kind of did all play. Fallout 3 and New Vegas did play kind of shit. It's hard, it's the VAT system's clunky. Your shooting's like, you don't just free flow like that. It's all like, clicky and clunky, and the menus are all really slow. And you have like interactions with people, but like, and you can have a little bit more results and stuff like that. You can get different speech things happening compared to Fallout 4, say, but Fallout 4 was so much free flowing and played really nicely. So you will always be able to go back to that game. Or Fallout 3 and stuff. If you get used to new games, it's really fucking hard to go back to that game because they just play so clunky and old. Or Skyrim, even now, even now, 10 years on, still plays fucking amazingly. It still plays well. It holds up to every other game that's out right now.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree. I definitely agree. And 100% agree. I was mind blown when I first played Skyrim, honestly. I had my mates harping on going, let's go, I've got it, come and play it. You can borrow it for a week. I was like, are you sure? I didn't want to give the game back. I was like, nah, I'm not finished.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Oh, but you've had it all week. It's like, you should be finished. I'm like, I'm one of those people that play through and I play through for everything. Yeah. Especially on like that game. That game sucked me into everything. All the side quests had to be done. All the collectibles had to be found. All of that shit. And it was just like, I had to go do it.
It was one of those weird games for me where it come out in a weird time of my gaming career where I was sort of like, in and out of games, not really playing enough. And when I did play, I was sort of just playing like shooters and stuff like that, Black Ops and shit.
Yeah.
On Modern Warfare, whatever it was at the time. But my mates all had it, and I used to go over and watch them play it and stuff like that. And I bought it and I picked it up and I played it for a bit. I did really like it, but I never really got far into it. It wasn't until a little bit later where we weren't playing online games anymore, and I sort of picked up Skyrim again. I was like, okay, I sat down. I'm like, I'm going to play this the whole way through. But I'd played enough of Oblivion and I played enough of Morrowind and I'd played enough of Skyrim, watch everyone else play it, that I knew that I wanted to do pure mage build.
Yep. Everyone
else uses swords and stuff like that. I was like, I'm going to turn it up to the highest difficulty. I'm going to play it pure mage, which honestly is the hardest fucking way to play the game. It is fucking shit. Do not recommend it. Fun as fuck once you get higher, but the first 6 to 12 hours of the game is fucking difficult. Because a lot of the game really makes you want to use sword and shield. The fucking, what do you call them? The companions and all that all fucking, they do make it so like fire does a certain amount of damage to some creatures and ice does more damage to others, blah, 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 which is good. The Draugrs are good because you can just fire them all down.
Yeah.
Once you get up and you start to become like this king mage, you do the Mages Guild quests. They are quality. The whole Mages Guild storyline is fucking quality. I really enjoyed that because you go so deep into the Dwemer ruins and stuff like that, and you end up not just doing magical shit. It's all more intellect. And I thought that was a cool way of going about it. And I thought they nailed it there, making you more of an intellectual character more than
you have a look at most of the mages in that game. They were like historians, and they knew all this stuff, and they were handing it down to the next generation. And it was just like the way that they thought that. And then you got like the Fighters Guild, which was me see man, me kill, rah rah rah.
Well, they didn't have a Fighters Guild. They had the companions.
The companions, but it was Fighters Guild.
Yeah, and they had the Blades as well, which is technically a spin-off of the Fighters Guild.
Yeah, but it was like you had your companions, which were.
I did like how they brought the Blades in, and they said the Blades were always a secret organization to take out dragons. Well, if you play Morrowind, which is actually set before Skyrim, the events of Skyrim, after the events of Skyrim, sorry, the Blades are a nothingness sort of a thing. They're all faded out and gone to nothing. There's a couple of people left, but they're more of like this elite sort of assassin-y, not an assassin, like elite guard sort of a thing.
Yep.
So I started my Elder Scrolls career was on number 3 Morrowind. Like that's all I played. I played the fuck out of it. Probably one of the first games I played to completion, nearly absolute completion. All the DLCs, all awesome, all of them good. You can only get to a maximum level 36, and compared to the other games where you can just pick up anything and start training at any one point in time, you actually only leveled on your major skills.
Yep.
Your minor skills. I don't actually know if they went towards your level. I think it was all just your major skills. And when you leveled up, you could go, you had like different stats. You didn't just have, health, fatigue, intelligence. It was all strength, agility,
dexterity,
speed, intelligence. You had all these little things you had to level up as you went. And like you had some of your skills were like acrobatics, athletics, which would make you run faster or run for longer. That what determined
Better dodge and all that type of stuff as well.
You didn't really have a dodge. Yeah, you had more chance of not getting hit. It wasn't. You didn't actually dodge as such.
Yeah.
So a lot of those things you didn't really have. The one thing bad about Morrowind is you didn't have like when you swung a sword, you didn't just hit them straight away. It was based on your one hand, your sword skill. It wasn't just it was blades. It wasn't one handed. It was blades, spears, axes. You know, and I think it was short swords and then long swords. I may have even been 2 there, and it depended on that with what skill level you were on that what was your chance of actually hitting them and for what damage.
Yeah.
And if you directional things would make you do different moves.
Yep.
And like for spears, you always sort of had to move forwards to make it point forwards. Otherwise you'd swipe it.
Yeah, yep.
And that would do no damage, which I thought was cool as well. Bows were like pretty impossible to use. You had the crosshair, but depending on your level, you'd shoot it like, and sometimes it'd just go off to the right. Just fucking annoying. But you could break that game too. If you actually pulled back your weapon, like ready to strike, go into your menu, change it to a lockpick, you'd come out and go and hit him with a lockpick and you'd kill him one hit. And lockpicking wasn't like the little thing where you do the tumblers. You just had a lockpick in your hand. And you just kept attacking the chest until it unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that like obviously Oblivion and Skyrim did so well and fixed from Morrowind. There's obviously a lot of issues with Morrowind. Don't get me wrong.
It evolved from it. So
there's something
you always had to have a like a data point, you know, you had to have something to start with.
Which made it more free flowing and easy to use. Yes.
Yeah.
But they took away a few things from Skyrim, which they kept like your acrobatics, you know, like you got it up to 100, you had nothing on you. You could jump a fucking long way. You could take a fuck ton of fall damage. Like you could fall a fair way and not die, which is pretty cool. And what would actually you could do with that is you could do spells or certain things that would just attribute to that one specific skill, which they took away as well. So there was a scroll you could get really early on that gave you 10,000 acrobatics. So you just go boom and you jump and you'd hit the top of the map and you'd fly across. And it was a great way to travel, but you didn't technically have enough time for it to reset for you to land. So anytime you landed, you died. You'd had to land in water. So you'd aim it for something, you go poof, and you jump, you're like land in the lake, like, oh, I died. Back to your minute reload. But yeah, story wise, it was the best by far. It was so good. Just so good. You literally beat gods, which was cool. Like the other ones they don't really mention. They mention them and you do a couple of missions here and there. And like Oblivion, you are opening a gate for Shiragrath or whatever it is, going in and fighting him. But you actually fought gods.
The Daedric princes.
Yeah. Oh no, Daedric god, wasn't it in Morrowind?
Well, the Daedric princes are the gods, pretty much. Like you got Azura, what's his fucking name? Moloch Baal, Shiograth.
Shiograth, which was the main enemy of Oblivion, correct?
Yeah, he's pretty much the
so once we get into the lore of all that stuff, I'm a bit hazy on. I must admit, I wish I did know more about it. Some of my mates would probably know more about it just because they've played way more than I have. But yeah, they're all pretty cool, the whole lore of it all. And you can read it. Then like the one thing about the Bethesda games is they have sets of books inside the game which you can read as well, which like you could play through and you never read one, or you could read them and like learn all these tiny little lore stories. And yeah, it's crazy. Such a well-made game. Morrowind took close to 100 man years to create. That's how much time, like, you know, it's that 100 people work non-stop every minute of the day for a year to make it happen. That's a fucking long time.
And like back then when it came out in 2002, right, it was brought out and you have a look at the graphics that it's got. For back then, that was like groundbreaking graphics.
Huge.
That was unreal. Like not Unreal Engine, but you know, like unreal graphics for it. Like it was just...
Oblivion had really good graphics and really good physics and stuff like that in it as well. And then Skyrim just took off from there and made it even better.
Bethesda tripled their staff and spent the first year developing the Elder Scrolls construction set.
Yeah.
Like that's so that they could balance the game, modify it in small increments over time instead of going, all right, we need to do this area and it's this big.
Yeah.
We do all these little things and it goes into this. And it's you go do this part, you go do that part, bring it all together. And
That was one thing I liked about Morrowind too, is like there's so many different little crevices you go into, and you go into the crevice, and the crevice was massive, you know, like the little tiny little cave ended up being a huge cave, and they're all like that. Well, Skyrim, every now and again, you'll go into a cave and it'll just be next to nothing. And there's just not as many. Well, Morrowind seemed to have a heap of them. Oblivion was not too bad for things on the map. But I mean, Skyrim also gave you the ability to just travel straight back to that cave. While on, say, Morrowind, it was like this tiny little box, if you're lucky. If it wasn't like a main part of the map, he wouldn't even show you where it is. You'd have to go back to that area and look around and look for it.
Whereas like Skyrim, you can fast travel to
exactly straight to the front of the cave. A cave was a major POI. Like everything was a POI in that.
Yeah.
Oblivion was like a little good mix between both of them. Actually, gave you a few more POIs. You could fast travel, but it wasn't like over the top either.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I played through Oblivion, but I don't know if I just don't remember as much because I didn't play it enough. I may have only done one playthrough and then threw it down and played something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's
can't
the same
remember
as me with
about
Morrowind. Like that's the same as me with Morrowind. I started on Oblivion, and it was like, oh, this is Elder Scrolls 4, and I'm like, there's 3 more games in front of this. Like, I gotta go try them out, and I could only find Morrowind, start it, and I was like, yeah, no, this ain't for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's slow. If you don't have that nostalgia for it, it is fucking slow.
Yeah.
But if you do want to play a fun game, it is probably one of the better explorative games because everything's journaled. You don't just have like this is the mission you're on to. You have to go back to your journal and find out what you're up to.
Yeah. And like Oblivion come out, I finished that. I think I waited after I finished Oblivion. I think I waited a couple months for Skyrim, and then I just didn't put that down once I got it off my mate. I was like, nah.
And I love the expansion packs in fucking Skyrim as well. They were fucking fun.
I gave it back to him and I went and bought the fucking special edition.
Yeah, nice.
I was like, yep, you can have it. The DLCs are out now. I'm going to go get the DLCs.
Fuck yeah. They were good too.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good. Can't wait for Elder Scrolls 6. Don't know when it's coming out, but it'll come out eventually.
Well, it was announced in 2018 that they're making an Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
It's 4 years on, and we've just gotten a sneak peek at like a trailer. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hurry up. Stop teasing us.
Hurry up, cunts.
Come on, Todd Howard. Just give us the fucking game, Todd. Come on.
All right. So rank your games from 1 to 6. If you haven't played them, you can just bag them at the end there. You can just put them at the end as like, I haven't played these ones, so I have no comment.
Well, I have to go ESO on top.
Yep.
For me.
Okay.
It would go pretty much the way I am nostalgically for it. So ESO's on top, then Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, and then the other ones. That's just the way I go. So I work from bottom down. So
mine would be Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion, ESO, Daggerfall Arena.
I'm gonna have to get you onto ESO. I've got it on Xbox. You can get it on Game Pass.
I don't know.
You can get it on Game Pass.
It's just an MMO, bro. It's just not MMOs. Just aren't my thing. I understand they're fun and stuff like that.
That's what my mum said. I got her into it.
I've played a few MMOs. I've given them a good fucking red hot crack. They're just too grindy. I don't mind grinding. I don't mind looting the fuck out of one place, which is what Skyrim and all those games give to you. But it's just too grindy. It took you so long to get the top level, and like they do take a fair while to get there. But at least you got a storyline to keep. I don't know. It's just not me. You've got a storyline in ESO. I'll just say that. Yeah, I know. MMOs just in general aren't for me. Like I'm not the biggest,
I'll ring your arm.
World of Warcraft fan or RuneScape fan or anything like that. They're all just a bit big. You're playing a Star Wars MMO, and that's just not my thing. Yeah, but that's just what I like. Like, I'm just saying, just give ESO a try.
You don't have to. You don't have I'll jump on. I'll give you a hand because we should be able to play online together because I've got an Xbox. Should all be the same servers. I'll jump on. I'll give you a hand. I'll show you the game. You don't like it? It's free. It should be free on Game Pass. You don't like it? Delete it.
Yeah, I probably will like it, but I mean, I just don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Always something, brother.
What was your favorite moments in the game? You can be like a mission or something that happened. With it. I like top 5, so let's do a top 5, eh? So this number 5, like best. It could be just be like the game itself or a certain aspect of the game, anything like or a mission, anything like that. What do you got? Number 5.
Number 5 would have to be the civil war in Skyrim between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks.
Pretty cool. Cool.
And like the whole game, not the whole game, but the main storyline focused on what faction you were part of and all that type of thing. It's pretty good, pretty out there.
Pretty good. Yours? The introduction of Dragon Shouts. I love Dragon Shouts. I'm sorry, but Fusrastar is the coolest thing any game's ever done. The fact you can just like Fusrastar and just go, they tumble away. Fuck yeah. That's so much fun. I fucking love that shit. Number 4.
Number 4 would have to be anything to do with the Dark Brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, they were pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
They were fucking cool. In Morrowind, they had this thing called the Morag Tong, which is like a extra hardcore version of the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
You kill Morag Tong in the Dark Brotherhood things in Skyrim, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. They're your main enemy is the Morag Tong. Yeah, so there you go. All the things lead up. Number 4 for me would be, mate, when I'm talking about like in the timeline of things, when Oblivion come out and I could hold a sword and sit there and fuck up people with fire and then just go up and finish them off with the sword, to me was just so fucking cool. The instant they brought in each like hand having something was cool as fuck. Dual wielding, even just having the 2 swords and 2 axes and stuff, that was fucking cool. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. It's an awesome mechanic. Number 3.
The fights at the Oblivion gates in Oblivion.
Oh yeah. Dope.
when all the Daedra comes through the gates and you had to repel them and everything.
Yeah. Number 3 for me was Skyrim bringing out more Dwemer puzzles and bringing in a bit more of the Dwemer artifacts. Like you'd fight the big steam masters and stuff like that. Now, fuck that whole aspect was just so cool. Like lining up things and putting on levers, and they brought a whole puzzle aspect to the game. And the fact that it was all Dwemer and they had more Dwemer enemies and stuff was fucking dope. Number 2.
Oh, number 2. I'm going to put it here. It's this, and then I got another one, but this would have to be number 2 is the release of the Dragonborn DLC.
Yep, when you go fight Mirac.
Yeah. Mine's mostly Skyrim.
That's okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, no, I fucking loved Mirac. I thought that was a cool fucking little addition and all different things. You went to like that weird world where you went into the book, and that was again fucking dope. My number 2 is a weird one. My number 2 is from Morrowind. Now, there's one thing I didn't like about when they did in the other games is certain characters couldn't die. Now in Morrowind, every character could die. Every character had a health bar, and every character would die eventually. So you could taunt certain characters into fighting you.
Yeah.
And because of that, you could kill them. And then this big message would come up saying you've completely ruined the storyline. You've ruined, not the storyline. It was like your quest. And you could completely break the game by just killing one character. And if you didn't realize you do it, you could play for hours and hours and hours. Like 30 hours later, you'd go to do that mission and that character just wouldn't exist anymore. Because of that, there was one character in the game called Vivec. Now he lived in his own
I know who
world.
Vivec is.
He's half dark elf, half high elf, and
He's
he
in
floated around.
the Elder Scrolls Online.
He floated around, and he was all creepy and cruel. You could kill that motherfucker. You could actually kill him. And I remember I was like, okay, I just got every scroll I could find, saved it, walked in there. I was like, I'm gonna fight you. And on like the third attempt, I finally killed him. Like he was just that strong. He could just fire magic super quick, and he was super powerful, and you'd never stand still long enough for you to hit him down. And I remember that, just doing that. And that was like my afternoon. I was just like, fuck yeah, die Vivec. Like the fact that you could kill a god was just cool.
Yeah. I know Vivec. He's in ESO. You go to Vivec City.
Yeah,
you go to his city.
Which is like one of the main cities in Vardenfell.
Yeah.
Number one.
First time absorbing a dragon soul.
No, that's pretty cool.
Not knowing what the fuck that was, you know, and then the whole storyline from Skyrim just opening up.
My number one's pretty different.
Yeah.
My number one is the entire Elder Scrolls music.
Oh, yes.
Something about that. Dun-dun-dun, 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 like all that shit. Like Morrowind had that, like that little fucking fluty sort of a note going through the whole thing. Like, and when you got into a battle, like you just hear the whole like orchestra just come in as you're fighting someone. Like that's, to me, that's what made the game. Like some games you can just say that the music half just finished it off, just polished it,
brings
made it perfect.
Brings it to life a bit more. Yep.
The music and all the games are just like, you hear it anywhere else and you're like, oh, that's that game. And you instantly just start thinking about it. And so we'll have the music.
Dragonborn going off and you're like, that's Skyrim. I know that that's Skyrim.
Force Thruster.
Yes.
Yeah, I fucking love those games. Those games are so fucking good. But as much as we have favorites, there are some negatives to the game. Okay, so Morrowind was fantastic as a game. Amazingly long, very vivid and well-written storyline. But fuck me, did you have to do some reading? Holy fuck. Like everything was text-based, and sometimes you'd click on a character story and they'd have this full fucking paragraph. You had to scroll through to read it. And if you didn't read it, fuck, you'd lost. You had no idea what the fuck you were doing. You actually had to read everything and read the journal to find out where you're going. That was fucked.
Yeah.
Game breaking. You broke the game so often. Like what was in Skyrim there? You could get the plate put up against the wall and you could run through the wall. And then you could get you could rob people and steal things.
There was so many glitches where you could go under the map and go through, find this secret fucking chest under this map, and it'd be full of gold. Under Whiterun.
One of my favorite.
Under Whiterun.
Yeah, you could do that. Right up the top of Dawnstar or whatever, you could actually sneak up to a certain rock, and there was the trader's chest was hidden underneath the map. Yeah. So everything in someone's inventory is actually in a chest that just hide underneath the map. You're not meant to be able to get to it, but you can get to this particular one and you can steal everything from there.
Yeah.
And like at that stage of the game, you're not meant to have that much equipment, but you can just steal it all.
Yeah.
One of my favorite game breaks was in Skyrim, though, when the trolls would hit you and you'd bounce and you'd hit
just launch.
That wasn't meant to happen. That was not actually something they read into it. That was just a weird coincidence that they're meant to be able to one hit you, and the physics that they put behind the one hit would just bounce your character.
Yeah. It's the same as like a giant comes through, swings its fucking club, and you just go launch it across the map. Or a mammoth comes running over top of you, you just gone.
Yeah, I think they fixed that physics in the end. I'm not sure. Oh, actually, I think they may have just left it because they thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so good. I'm sure that happened when they were like testing it. They're like, that's pretty fucked. And someone just leave it.
There was a save bug with this book that used to give you the book was worth 1,000 gold if you sold it. There was a save bug. If you saved it at this certain spot in this bookshelf, saved it before you put it in, put it in, saved it, and then pulled it out, and then reloaded the save, you've got an extra book that you just pull off the bookshelf.
Okay.
And that's how you would farm gold, just doing that. And it was 1,000 gold a book, and you just get 100 books, go sell it for 100,000 gold, and it's just like,
yeah,
why
nothing
not?
like a good game break, eh? But I
Like-
mean, there's one thing that Elder Scrolls did that everyone can fucking hate. Every Bethesda game does it, by the way. Save corruptions. Oh, God. There's nothing worse than a fucking save corrupt. You just like, and that's why I do it from now on. I always just save, and you put all these fucking saves listed down there because
Fuck the auto save, do a manual save.
you do an auto save, but every now and
saving.
again you do a manual save, because if that file corrupted, you could just delete that one, go back to you'd lose that mission you just done. But oh, man, the amount of times that it happened to me is just fucking phenomenal. Like it's just you'd be like somewhere really random and then it just corrupt. You're just like, no, what the fuck did I just lose?
Yep.
And you realize that you just played like 6 hours and you've just lost 6 hours of it. You're like, no. And you turn it off. Honestly, half the time you just turn the game off and walk away from it for a day or two.
Yeah.
Because you just, all that time's been wasted.
But there was like game breaking weapons as well that they weren't supposed to have in there. Like that, there was one ebony blade that you wouldn't make it. You would pick it up off the ground and it would already have a life leech for it.
Oh, okay.
But then you can upgrade that life leech. So you get hit. Doesn't matter how many times you get hit, you're invincible pretty much. You just go bang, one hit and your fucking health's all the way back up to the top again.
Yeah, that's tough. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Like
I know you can you can do like, you'd spam like an alchemy thing to give you like a certain amount of enchanting, and then you can enchant something to make your alchemy better. And you keep going like that until you'd be able to make huge potions, and then you'd be able to roll like massive enchantments on your fucking weapons.
Yep.
Where you'd be like 1,000% better at something. You're just like, oh, kind of broken it now. Now I'm like that OP, it doesn't even matter. You're doing master spells and it's using like the tiniest little bit of fucking magic.
Your magic is not even going. It's just like,
yeah. So there's a lot of game breaks in there. I found some of the from when it happened in Morrowind to Oblivion, I found like the getting caught by the cops and stuff fucking annoying. Like they'd just walk into a room and they'd pull you up.
Yeah.
While in Morrowind, they literally had to be on top of you. You could just keep running and they wouldn't get caught. They literally had to nearly catch you physically. And then like it always gives you the option to do stuff. And some games you could have the option of just not doing it and you could fight them straight away. Well, a lot of them, like you just got arrested and that was the end of it. You didn't get a really.
I think that's the good thing about Skyrim. Like they had I admit to it, or like, do you know who I am? Like I'm the Thane of this town, all of that type of shit. Or when you become a Jarl or something, I'm the Jarl.
Fuck off, cunt, I'm the Jarl.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, here, have this bit of gold and look the other way, mate. Just fuck off, or I'm gonna fucking kill you dead right now.
Yeah. Also, in Morrowind, you could run to like the Thieves Guild and you could pay someone half
to take the bounty off you,
and you didn't have a bounty anymore.
Yeah.
You could literally kill heaps of cunts, quickly run there, and then you'd be sweet as long as you didn't kill anyone in the Thieves Guild.
Sweet. So you would know that that's in ESO as well. They brought all that type of stuff into ESO. Cool. All your laundering, Thieves Guild, all that type of stuff. But in ESO, the guard has to be right here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And like if you walk past the guard, you can actually see the guard look at you, turn around and start walking towards you. You're like, nah, I'm gone. Fuck you. And that's just start legging it. So
I didn't know that. That's pretty fucking tough.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But so cool, like the whole game series is just so fucking well done. All the races and stuff. Oh, well, we can do a few more top fives.
Yep.
I mean, we're going a little over time, but fuck it. I want your 3 best ever builds. Your 3 favorite builds that you've done, like the character the whole way through, you know what I mean? Like what builds you had the most fun on, or the most memorable builds with their character selection, everything. Like,
yep.
We go number 3.
Number 3 would be a Breton mage. I'm doing ESO for builds. I'm doing ESO right now.
Yeah, whatever game. Yeah, so just tell me the game and everything like that.
So Breton mage, not the mage. It would be my Breton warden. So they're sort of like a druid,
Yep.
And they bring forth like animal companions and everything, bring a big bear out of the ground.
Cool. Yeah. Like a
they're mainly
conjurer
like-
sort of thing.
Yeah, so opposite to a necromancer.
Yeah.
More nature and everything.
Yeah. Conjurers
Yeah.
go both ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dope. My number 3 would be my dual wield build in Skyrim. So
Yep.
light armor, 2 swords, 2 weapons, and I was all on DPS. I was all pace. So I just run straight in. I think I was an orc. So I could get the berserker perk.
Yep. Yep.
Number 2.
2 would have to be my. I also did this in Skyrim, which is why I did it in ESO. It would be my Orc Tank
Yeah, cool.
in both the games. So it was heavy armor, sword and board, self heals, taunt, all of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
dope. My number 2 would be my high elf mage in Skyrim, where I was pure I was just pure restoration, destruction. That's it. That's all I made. That's all I did with a little bit of illusion.
Yep.
Not even that much illusion, probably more alteration. So it would be an alteration, restoration, destruction. So I could heal, I could put armor on myself, and then I just use pure destruction magic. No swords, no weapons, no staffs, no nothing. Didn't worry about. I had potions, but I didn't really do anything with alchemy. I was just pure, like. Oh, I guess you could say I had enchanting and alchemy on there as well. But yeah, they were my 3 pures. Number 1, what was your favorite character you ever built?
My high elf necro.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And ESO.
Yeah. In ESO, so with the necro, with the high elf in ESO, sort of like how in Skyrim, if you're a certain race, you get certain traits and everything.
Yeah.
So your
One
high
of the
elf
big
was
things
like high elf's like your magicka traits and all of that, learning, enchanting a bit quicker and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So like that was a DPS build, and I just
I
absolutely
think
love
it. With the high elf, you get like a certain amount of magicka resistance, I think. Is that
yeah,
correct?
magicka resistance,
and you
extra
get
magicka
like
recovery.
And then you get like one of the stars that like you do a certain amount of magicka absorption, but you wouldn't replenish it as fast, or you wouldn't replenish it all. I think I did that with my high elf. My number 1 is my red guard character from Morrowind, where I just did heavy armor, medium armor. Sorry, it was medium to heavy armor with blunt. So I was using hammers and shit, blunt, block, and athletics. So I was quick, medium armored, and I just get up there and just cunts to death.
Nice.
In Morrowind, you could go around, you get like, they had way more hidden weapons in Morrowind, which I liked. They lost that a lot in Oblivion. They sort of brought it back in Skyrim to a certain point. But you had like certain pieces of armor that were hidden in like really random spots. Like it'd be a cave, it'd be a massive cave, but behind this one trough was like one glove that was special. Or I remember you got this one hammer that weighed nothing when you equipped it. It had a feather thing on it, so it weighed nothing. So when it weighed nothing, you could actually technically swing it quicker. You swing it as quick as a dagger, but it was like a big hammer in one hand. And you had to fight a flame atronach. It was on this big floor of fire, so we could just skid around on there. There's one chest floating in the middle of the fucking map. That's where it was. So you had to use like telekinesis to get to it. But you had to fight the fire atronach that like couldn't die because it was on fire, sort of thing. I remember doing that, getting that hammer. I was like, yeah.
When you played Skyrim, did you do much of the Dragon Lords?
Dragon
Lords?
Lords?
Yeah, with the masks.
Yeah. So I got all of them, and you make it into one, and the one's kind of pox, but you go to like that little alternate universe for a little bit there.
But you got some OP ones that I always went, like, I never tried to join them all. I always like was running one OP one and just using that. There was one there where you pretty much had no bag limit.
Yeah.
No weight limit at all.
I got it all, and then I put just the one mask on right at the end on my mage build. What do you remember the Wobberjack?
Yes.
You'd spit it out and something random would happen. That was that was a fun little quest too. At Questco, that's probably one of the funnier ones. I really liked that one. There's a couple of really good quests in all the games, actually. Like that one stood out. the one where you had to the dog would start talking to you.
Yeah. Yep. And
it's
at
like-
the end, you'd either choose to kill the dog or let the dog go to
Yeah, he'd turn
Moloch
into-
Baal. That was Moloch Baal.
Yeah, it was more like Bal, yeah.
But like the Wobberjack, the owner of that was like Elder Scrolls version of Loki.
Yeah. Who was that?
Shigrath, I'm pretty sure.
It might have been Sheargarth, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, and then you did like on the DLC of Skyrim, you got like the Soul Khan, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool fucking set of missions. In Morrowind there, like the main storyline where you had to get like these 2 pieces to be able to fight the main boss, which is pretty cool. And you're just pretty much fighting in like the middle of a volcano sort of thing, just like fucking Lord of the Rings. It was pretty cool. So you had to fight this super fucking beastie kind of like essentially a bridge.
Yeah.
I remember that being pretty fucked up. But yeah, that was awesome. I fucking love the Elder Scrolls game. Like literally we could talk about this for years.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, such a fucking great fucking game series. We'd love you to fucking leave comments and tell us what you think about the games. What were your favorite games? What was your favorite mission? What was your favorite character build? Please let us know in either the YouTube comments, Instagram comments, anything like that. Just tell us what you think. I'm sure Magpie will do a post and then maybe he'll write down the bottom what was your favorite part of the Elder Scrolls series, what was your favorite game, and you can let us know and share it in the story so we can have a see. That'd just be fucking amazing.
Indeed.
And in the future games, we just want a new game. We don't care what you do. Just give us a new one.
Yeah, exactly right.
Please. That's all we want. We just want a new game. Any game. Something. Even if it's small, I don't care. But maybe Magpie will convince me to play Elder Scrolls Online. I'm not sure. So
I won't hold my breath. I won't hold my breath.
I wouldn't hold your breath either. You'd probably die.
Yeah, I probably would. But yeah, it's I reckon it's been good. Been good catching up, Tommy.
Yeah, man. We obviously love doing the podcast. Sometimes we can yak on a bit, but we fucking love talking about all this shit, eh? And we heard a few positive things over the week, which is really nice. Not often, because we're such a new podcast, not often does someone go up and tell you that they really enjoyed the podcast. And when you hear it, it is very good breath of fresh air. It is really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Next, we would love some input on what you think the next topic should be. We're sort of making this up a little bit on the fly. We're literally talking about 2 things that are in the room and we know a lot about.
Indeed.
The next one, maybe we should do, I don't know, cupboards. What is your favorite cupboard? How fucked is it trying to build cupboards? Like, it's going to get to that if you don't give us some input. But no, we really enjoy it. Again, we probably might come out with maybe a little mini podcast about the Ashes, or the next one's going to be all about the Ashes. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we can say on cricket and we can talk about the recent series and the whole history behind it too. Possibly, we'll see.
Yep. Yeah.
There we go. What else you got to say for yourself, Magpie?
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Always.
I've enjoyed it. Just sitting here talking about something we enjoy, something we can just yak about.
Yeah.
It's
if you haven't played the games, I'm sorry. If you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Maybe we should have went into more depth what's it all about, but I think you understand what we're all on about. And I really recommend, if you haven't already, play Skyrim, for fuck's sakes. If you have played Skyrim, go back and play it again. You'll enjoy yourself. Yeah. The new games, the remaster is out now and it's free on Game Pass and stuff, and it's super fun. Few new mechanics like fishing and shit.
Yep.
Not as fun as you thought it would be fishing either. Kind of boring.
Oh, it never is.
Oh, boo. I like fishing.
I'm talking about in-game. Fishing in-game never is that fun, but...
No. It was fun on like Zelda and stuff.
Yeah. But no, it's been good. I've enjoyed this week, and I can't wait to see what everyone else reckons, what we can talk about this week, to see what the next topic is.
Yeah. Fuck. maybe we have a sneak peek of it. Maybe just Pokemon, possibly. Again, game I've loved, series I've loved. We know a lot about. I'm sure a lot of our listeners know about it too. So it might be the way it will go, especially with the release of Arceus coming so soon.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. You've all been fucking amazing as per usual. Follow us, please, if you haven't already. Follow us on Spotify, follow us on YouTube, tell a friend, leave a comment, give us a like, give us a rating, whatever. Just please, and follow us on Instagram at Bird the Beard. Beard the Bird, fuck. Beard the Bird. Long day. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, guys. You've all been fucking amazing.
Have fun, guys.